Hey guys, welcome to Black United. Welcome to another video, and today is time to talk about Riqui Puig again, once more, another week on a row. This time there has been consequences, but before I get started with the video, I wanted to say that don't please, I might say things that I might regret, probably. But this is gonna be a kind of video that has me very much in tilt. It's not something I want to discuss, but I think it's definitely something that for Barcelona fans, I want to know your opinion. I know where I stand clearly on this. But Riqui Puig was substituted with an injury, with medical attention, because I'm going to show you the foul. I show you the criminal attempt at breaking someone's leg of a tackle by the player from La Costera in Barcelona B draw with them this past weekend. I saw the tackle, or whatever you can call that criminal attempt of an offense. I don't know, whatever it was. I saw it during the weekend. I was very much in tilt, but there was Barcelona game on for us, and there was nothing that I could talk about other than that. But today, I have to talk about this, and I have to emphasize again that Riqui Puig cannot play another La Liga B game, at all. I don't know what I'm showing. I'm probably showing the fouls from this week, from last week, and from his first few games of last season, I think, where he in a game got, he just got kicked everywhere on every single part of his body, basically. And this is unbelievable. Riqui Puig cannot be on Barcelona B, not only because he's far superior than everyone else, and because at Barcelona he is very much superior than most players in the club at the moment in that position, but because we need to protect him. Because obviously the refs from Barcelona B are not going to protect Riqui Puig, because that one against La Costera, the player got a yellow card for it. A yellow card that, if you see the foul, it's a foul where the player is nowhere near Riqui Puig. He's nowhere near the ball. I mean, he's obviously near Riqui Puig, nowhere near the ball though. From behind, not going for the ball, obviously, just going to stop the man, that is a red card. We saw Araujo and Dembélé with silly red cards, and here for a criminal tackle, no one gets sent off. Apparently, you're basically telling here everyone of every team and every coach that, hey, go ahead and kick Riqui Puig as much as you want, or kick, and not only Riqui Puig, but this is the example of Riqui Puig on this one, the one I'm taking. Kick the player as much as you want, because you're not gonna get sent off for it. Because we are more rude, and we are more we play more aggressive football, and no. The rules are the same for every category of professional football, of football overall, and they have to be treated with the same amount of respect. This tackle is criminal to the point where, what are we waiting for? Are we waiting for Riqui Puig to have a crucial injury? To have an injury where he's not going to be able to, play for a year, maybe? Fortunately, it seems to be that this injury is not going to be that bad. That's only going to be maybe maybe 1 or 2 weeks. But with the winter transfer window coming, with Rakitic still having a contract agreed with Juventus, because I'm pretty sure that contract is still on, or whatever club he wants to go to, maybe Manchester United, I don't know, whatever club. Rakitic leaves. Obviously, he's not happy with the minutes that he's getting, with the few minutes that he's getting. And Riqui Puig, with those minutes, he will be delighted training with the first team every every day, playing maybe one every 3 games, a few minutes, maybe one start here or there. Like, he will be delighted. Instead, we have Rakitic that is uncomfortable with the amount of minutes that he has, and Araña that's playing no minutes, that he needs to go on loan, definitely, and Riqui Puig needs to be promoted. And why am I making an emphasis on this? Because Riqui Puig is still a player that's on development, that a bad injury could set him back for the rest of his career. A really bad injury could set him back for the rest of his career. And if you don't believe me, look at Ousmane Dembélé. Yes, there is other things with Ousmane Dembélé, but it's basically, for me, not that different, because Ousmane Dembélé arrives at Barcelona after not having nearly any injuries, goes and has a really bad injury after a, unfortunate incident, but has a really bad injury that has him sidelined for over 6 months in his first season, of just after a few games of debuting with the first team. And he's been basically breaking himself every other month. You see Dembélé with some kind of dumbass injury. This cannot be allowed to happen. Dembélé is a player that wasn't a player that was getting injured and had a bad injury, and here he goes. Samuel Umtiti, basically, I didn't remember a single injury at all, has this injury right now, and he's been having physical problems for the past year or so. It's Daniel Sturridge, Gareth Bale, all these players, Sergio Aguero. Those are all players that even Harry Kane. Like, I have so many examples of players that beforehand didn't have a bad injury, go ahead and have a really bad injury, and then they are not the same player, or at least cannot keep the same amount of physical fitness. Do you really want to risk it with Riqui Puig? I don't think so. I think that this is severe. We need to take care of this, and we need to take care of it now. I am disgusted by this. I'm disgusted by the Spanish Federation that's allowing this, because if you put a stop to this with a red card, this doesn't happen again. But basically, the coaches are now free to tell the players, hey, go ahead and stop this kid, because although he's pretty good, just stop him at any cost, because you're not getting a red card for it, right? Barcelona, we need to take action. We need to start talking with we have media outlets like Sport and Mundo Deportivo for a reason. Start using them. Start using your resources to protect the player, to start making this a trending topic, because I don't see anyone talking about this, and this is serious. And I just wanted to finish with saying that Riqui Puig is, for me, not at the same level of Artur and De Jong, but just that level below it. And let me just tell you one more thing. Riqui Puig, at 20 years old, is infinitely better, and I mean infinitely better, than Xavi and Iniesta when they were 20 years old. So this is something that we have to recapacitate, because this is like the new breed. Like, when you try to compare, like, is Frenkie de Jong like Xavi or Iniesta? It's Artur like Xavi or Iniesta? It's Riqui Puig like Xavi and Iniesta? We're having a new breed of center midfielders. We're evolving as time goes on. Now, all of Riqui Puig, Frenkie de Jong, and Artur all have the ability to be both Xavi and Iniesta, and a mix of it, where they're able to transition with the ball, dribbling in their own different aspects, and also are able to play the ball out of the back perfectly fine. These should be the midfield three for the next decade for Barcelona, and we need to protect it. Riqui Puig needs to be promoted to the first team at any cost. Rakitic needs, if Sergio Roberto has to leave, he'll leave. If Rakitic has to leave, he'll leave too. If Aleñá has to be loaned out, that needs to happen as well. Anything that promotes this guy to the first team. I'm not asking him to even play a lot. I'm just asking him to be promoted to the first team, to get out of playing Segunda B minutes that are not making him any better, because we already know that he's a lot better. Just training the first team, it's developing more in his training than playing games that are worthless, because at least you're training with players that are better than you, and you're not playing against players that are infinitely worse than you, that are infinitely less quality players. This needs to stop. We need to stop having this attitude of he's too young, he needs more time. No, with Riqui Puig at 20 years old, and we already had Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, Busquets, they were all promoted to the first team. before they were 20 years old. Like this, and I'm not saying that Riqui Puig is gonna be better than Xavi Iniesta. I'm just saying the facts. Riqui Puig, his actual quality right now was better than Xavi Iniesta's back then. Xavi started showing his class about 2006, and Iniesta started showing, like, became a really good player in 2009 when Pep Guardiola converted him into a center midfielder, because before we didn't have the chance for it. I'm not saying that Riqui Puig doesn't need any help. He doesn't need, Valverde doesn't need to tell the young Arturo Riqui Puig how to play, because those players know exactly how to do it. They're perfectly capable of it. And I'm not saying Riqui Puig becomes the first substitute out of the bench. No. For me, Arturo Vidal. If we have our best midfield available for us, it's Frenkie de Jong and Artur as starters, with one of Busquets and Arturo Vidal. In the best conditions possible, Busquets becomes the starter, if not Arturo Vidal, but whoever. The other player becomes the first sub, and then the second sub needs to be Riqui Puig. Riqui Puig as your second sub. If Aleñá is loaned out, he becomes your complement player, and if not, he's Sergio Roberto. If you loan out Aleñá and Rakitic, you go ahead and have a midfield of, ideally, Busquets, Artur, and Frenkie de Jong, with Arturo Vidal coming up from the bench. Then you have Riqui Puig, and then as a cover you have Sergio Roberto, who can play both right back and in midfield. That covers for all positions perfectly fine. It's 6 players for 3 positions. And if you start having injuries for some reason, you need to rotate for a couple of Rey games. Alex Collado, Ludovic Reis, Monchu, all these players perfectly capable of filling in if need be, if ever need be, at least for the bench. They're perfectly capable players. Like, and I would say, like, also promote Abel Ruiz. And straight away, I'm happy that Ansu Fati is not playing in Segunda B, because if he was playing in Segunda B, God knows what we'd be doing to a 16-year-old. How they will be kicking a 16-year-old. If they're kicking like this, Riqui Puig, I don't imagine what they will be doing to Ansu Fati. Riqui Puig is an even better player than Ansu Fati. Yes, Ansu Fati is more shiny, he scores more goals, obviously, because he plays in the forward line. But Riqui Puig is a player that I know he's going to succeed at Barcelona if given the chance. Ansu Fati, for me, still has a lot to show. He still needs to develop tactically, physically, and just technically. And I know that he will do that, but I still don't know if he's going to just be a good player or an elite level player for Barcelona. So this is what I wanted to comment on this video. I think that, I hope I didn't go too far. It's, for me, a disgrace that this keeps happening on and on and on again. But leave me all your opinions about what you think. Do you think Riqui Puig needs to be promoted to the first team? Do you think it needs to happen at all costs or not? Leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Blaugranas.